All right. Hold on, give me a second here. It's the weekend after a boys' weekend. I had the kid this weekend, so that means I have to last minute. I have to make sure everything is working here so that we're doing all right. Are we doing all right? All right, people are come on, come one, come all, join the chat room. Give me one more second here, and then we will be ready. Okay, we'll yep. Yeah, okay, very good. All right, everybody, welcome into the High Noon stream. I am Pugs Moran. We do this every Monday through... Oh, that's not plugged in. Just give me a second here. You see, I live in this guest house apartment, and there's not a whole lot of space. So when the boy comes, a lot of the space that is allocated for this arrangement is a studio. It's this little thing that you have here, and that takes up a lot of space. So when the kid comes, I have to kind of break down the studio a little so he can have his own area and not screw with any of the equipment. So that's what this is all about. Although, wow, heard today. Apparently big changes coming around here to the One Percenter guest house. Apparently we're going to knock it down and we're going to turn it into like a multi-level, multi-bed. I don't know. That's just what I heard today. Very exciting news going on around these parts here at the One Percenter compound. All right, welcome into the show. We do this every Monday through Friday, noon till whenever. Today is an extremely busy day. I got a lot of stuff going on this afternoon and this evening. There will be no Pillow Talk show tonight. There's a big freaky party planned that I will be going to. So I'll tell you all about that. I'll be taking notes. And I hope you had a good weekend. I had such a good weekend. Man, let me tell you about how my weekend started out. Okay, first of all, Friday night was great. Friday night was easy. We just hung out, me and the boy. We were going to go to the Highland Park Jesuit game, but we ended up not going to that. So what do you want to do instead? I don't know. Let's go shopping. He was like, let's go to Kroger on a Friday night. I'm like, okay. So we went to Kroger. That was great. Saturday, we went to we woke up very early. We had to go to like an 8:30, 9 o'clock youth football game. So we went to that. We went Saturday. We came home at like 10:30, completely wiped out. What a gorgeous weekend in North Texas this was, huh? This is why they stayed. This weather is why they stayed. It has been absolutely gorgeous. And Saturday was probably the nicest day that we've had around these parts. Well, since last October, maybe. So of course, my kid and I laid around all day and didn't go outside and didn't do anything. You know what we did instead? You know what we did on the most beautiful outdoor day in North Texas history? And yeah, I'm going to say that. Prove me wrong. You know what we did instead? We laid in bed and watched a hot tub time machine marathon. That's right. That of the year. Nicest day. We were tired because we had stayed up kind of late Friday night, and then we had to wake up very early and go to this football game. And by the time the football game was over, we were home. It was like 10:15 in the morning. We're like, what do you want to do? So we watched, me and the boy, we watched Hot Tub Time Machine 1, and then we went into Hot Tub Time Machine 2, which... the more times I see that, and I've seen both Hot Tub Time Machine and Hot Tub Time Machine 2 probably 3 times now, the more I watch these movies, the more they go up my comedy list, the more they just, And then, of course, we spent the next 48 hours, me and the boy, just, quoting Hot Tub Time Machine lines. At least the ones that are appropriate, everybody, like my kid, never mind. You had to have seen Todd. There's a character named Lou. Lou goes back in time and invents Google, except it's called Loogle. And Lou has a specific energy about him. My kid running around calling everybody, you got Lou energy. I'm like, yeah, he does have Lou energy. So I would say yesterday, Sunday afternoon, we had big plans. We were going to go to the movies. We were going to go. Oh, you know what else we did Saturday night after laying around all day? We finally did go out. We went out with E and E's son, Dom, the masters of the One Percenter compound. We went out with them to get ice cream at like 9 o'clock, and we went to that place. You guys ever been to Cauldron Ice Cream? That's the ice cream place where they make the ice cream right in front of you using, what is it? I don't know. It's like a chemical. It's like steams and vats. It looks like Uncle Fester's laboratory from, the Addams Family movies. There's like steam. Basically, the ice cream isn't like frozen. It's like instantly frozen. And it was so good. It was so good. I highly suggest Cauldron ice cream if you ever get a chance. A little more expensive, but you're paying for the show. You're paying for them to create the ice cream in front of your very eyes, where there's nothing. I guess sugar, fat, and milk, and then suddenly it's amazing cauldron. Liquid nitrogen, that's what it is. Liquid nitrogen. I don't know what it is. I'm not a science guy. So we do that. After laying around all day, we celebrated with ice cream. So we did get out. Yesterday, again, a gorgeous day. So, of course, we laid around and watched football all day. Actually, not all day. We only watched football till 3 o'clock. Then we went out to lunch. We went for a nice little walk. But then, like last night around 4:30, ring, 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 my phone rings. I know what we were going to do. We were thinking about going to a movie or something like that. And ring, 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 the phone rings. Actually, I was pushing for the batting cages, but I don't think they want to go to the batting cages. So the phone rings, ring, 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 pick it up. It's my good pal and partner in crime on the Mansplaining Show, Dr. Robert Schwartz. Dr. Schwartz says, hey, does your kid like the Smashing Pumpkins? And I'm like, who doesn't? And I lean over to him. I go, you like the Smashing Pumpkins? He goes, sure. Like he didn't know how to answer that because he's not really familiar. Schwartz laid us a couple of Smashing Pumpkins tickets on us. And I got to be honest, if I didn't live like a $6 Uber ride away from American Airlines, it was so easy. We just Ubered. We were there in 5 minutes. If I didn't live that close, I probably would have turned it down. But we went to the Smashing Pumpkins concert, and it was Jane's Addiction and Smashing Pumpkins. And it was my kid's first concert. First real concert. Like, he has seen, who? Billy Ray Cyrus at Oktoberfest. He's been to places where bands were playing, but he's never been to a real rock show. So it was his first concert, and he loved it. He said to me at some point, he said, this is so cool, Dad. And I go, yeah, imagine how much you'd like it if you knew any of the songs. He goes, yeah, that's true. So my son, being fairly unfamiliar with Smashing Pumpkins and unfamiliar with Jane's Addiction, he was going into that concert with now remember, I've told you, my kid really likes music. Like, he's got a really open mind when it comes to music. He doesn't just hear something and go, oh, that's from this genre, and my generation isn't supposed to like that genre. So he doesn't do that. He listens, and if he likes it, he likes it. And if he doesn't, he goes, yeah, it doesn't really get me. So it was interesting to be sitting at a concert with him and having him. And by the way, the seats were ridiculous. The seats were so good. We were right on the wall. We were row A, right off which would be stage left. Like, if you were on stage, we were just stage left. I mean, I could have easily chucked my drink. I could have chucked my drink and hit any number of the Pumpkins or Perry Farrell, because they're old and they're moving slow now. But that's how close we were. And so we're sitting there, and I'm watching him, and he's enjoying the show and all that stuff. And he liked Jane's Addiction. He liked Jane's Addiction better. He was taken more by Jane's Addiction than he was by the Smashing Pumpkins. Although he didn't have a problem with Smashing Pumpkins. He enjoyed it, but just sight unseen. So I thought that was interesting. I'm like, okay, so you're basically like an alien who's been dropped here, and now you're going to see the full song catalogs of both of these iconic bands, and you're going to weigh. And he did. He went with Jane's Addiction. And that became really weird when I said, well, it's your first concert, so we obviously have to get you a concert t-shirt. You have to commemorate the occasion by getting a concert t-shirt. So we walk over into the line, and I'm pointing out the Smashing Pumpkins tour shirts, and I'm explaining, you probably want to get the tour shirt because that will mark this particular tour. It was your first concert. You want to get that. And he goes, nah, Dad, honestly, I'd rather get a Jane's Addiction shirt. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So he picks out a Jane's Addiction shirt that has no tour markings. It doesn't say any of the dates. It's just like a regular long sleeve. It's a nice shirt. But, I just looked at the price. $55. $55 for a long sleeve t-shirt. $55. I mean, the last time I was at a concert and bought a t-shirt, I would never buy t-shirts at concerts when they were $20. So I'm like, $20? That was $55. And I'm doing all this math in my head. You know, you're like, okay, all right, I set a budget for this. This is going to blow the budget out. Okay, I guess Dad won't be having a beer. And, you know, it's because beers are $12 or whatever. And I didn't. I went with the refillable large Diet Dr. Pepper. You get a large for like $6 and then they refill it for free. Anyway, so he gets the Jane's Addiction shirt, and we get back to the seat. I didn't even look at it. He just pointed. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. And besides, my eyes are bad, and I wasn't wearing my glasses. And this T-shirts were hanging on the wall, probably a good 10 yards away from. I couldn't really see what it was. I just thought, okay, if that's the one you want, that's the one you want. We get back to our seats, and he I go, let me see what shirt you got. Let me see that one. And he goes, check it out. And he holds it up. And it's basically a porno shirt. It's basically porno. It's naked ladies, and they're doing like Dad of the Year. Dad of the Year. Here, actually, I can show you the shirt. This shirt is humiliating. Let's see here. This is the shirt that he picked out, and it's one of those shirts. Well, you can't wear that anywhere. And I gotta. It's in his bag, so his mom's not gonna see it. But I gotta reach out to his mom ahead of time and go, I accidentally bought him a dirty shirt that he's not gonna be able to wear to school. He's not gonna be able to wear it anywhere. So here's the concert T-shirt that he picked out that I didn't notice until after I'd paid the $55 and we'd gotten all the way back down to our seats. There it is. That's right. It's like some kind of weird sex scene with like a naked lady in a chair, and you can see her bush, and there's something else going on. It's lesbian. It's Dad of the Year. Dad of the Year. But other than that, we enjoyed it. We had a wonderful night. So thank you so much to Dr. Robert Schwartz for hooking us up last minute with some incredible tickets. That was a good time. God. Hi, Dustin. Welcome to the show. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff going on that I need to bring you up to speed. But you know what? Let's do this. Hold on. We've got a new caption that we can put up. Boom. Because we're putting these things together. That's right. Schwartz and I do a new show. It's on a new station that you'll all hear about at 3:00 today. Yes, it is obvious now from all the reports. I'm not sneaking anything out or giving you any privileged information. Most people know that 97.1, the legendary Eagle here in Dallas-Fort Worth, is no more. They've been playing very strange music all weekend. It's, I believe, in the radio industry. You believe? It's called stunting. Stunting is where when a station changes formats, they will do something very weird for typically over a weekend, 72 hours over a weekend. That sort of cleanses the palate, acts as a sorbet for what the format used to be and what it is going to be. This weekend, I believe 97.1 was playing like 4 songs in a row. Like they were playing the same 4 songs, and everybody was reaching out. What does this mean? What is it? They were playing "Freak Out" by Chic. They were playing "Freaks Come Out at Night" by, I don't even know who that is. I don't know, someone. They were playing "Super Freak" by Rick James. And they were playing Missy Elliott, "Get Your Freak On." So obviously there's some kind of a theme there. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they've been playing that since Friday. I believe at 5:00 is when they started doing that. And then this morning, for some strange reason, they started just playing Tom Petty's "The Waiting" over and over again. At least that's what I heard. I don't know what they're doing now. Maybe they've changed it now. Well, they're telling us tune in at 3:00 because something's going to be happening over there at 97.1 The Eagle. And honestly, I think you're going to like it. I think I don't know nothing, obviously, but I think you're going to like it. Anyway, I myself and Dr. Schwartz, we have a new show that airs on weekends over on that 97.1 format. It's called Mansplaining, and we want to include you guys early on in a show, you know, before people really know what it is or how to participate. You need to do a couple of things. So Mansplaining, the show that I'm doing with Schwartz, is basically a reinvention of Loveline. It's just 2 guys who are just going to be taking calls and talking about your stuff, whatever it is that's happening in your life, whatever your dilemmas are. If you're familiar with the old Pugs and Kelly show, I have a long history of doing advice stuff on the radio. Kelly and I did what we called HGDs all the way back to our Chicago days. And then I even wrote a column for a very short time here in town. So those are my qualifications for giving you advice. That, and I've destroyed my life. I've made every bad decision known to man. And I'd like to think that I learned from my mistakes. And Schwartz is a doctor. That's it. That's his qualifications, because you need a doctor. Anyway, just imagine that. I am a very low rent version of Adam Carolla, and he is a very high rent, high dollar, top shelf version of Dr. Drew. And I say that because not only is he a more accomplished physician and surgeon than Dr. Drew, no surgeon. He's a more accomplished doctor. He's also so much funnier. He's so much more interesting. It's so weird at times. I don't know. He's going to be great. So that's the show, and that show airs. It's on weekends right now from 9 to 11 on Saturday and Sunday nights on 97.1. Fingers crossed. I'm just hoping that it fits in with the new format. Fingers crossed. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. So there you go. That's and by the way, right there, mansplainingradio@gmail.com. If you're familiar with the way we used to do the HGDs, send them in. Tell me what your problems are. And honestly, if you want to come on, if you want to be on the air, we'll arrange that as well. You could come on the air and we can do it live, however you want to do it. Whitney Jackson says it's the new sports radio 97.1 The Freak. No, it's not. I know that's what everybody's saying. I know that's not entirely correct, though. I have seen, and I don't know that this is I don't know that this is official, but I have seen the tagline for whatever is happening. I've seen the tagline be, "We talk about whatever we want when we want." So, getting a little, I think leaning into the sports thing might be a little bit. I don't think that's necessary. I don't know. We'll have to tune in at 3:00 and we'll have to see what it is. Everybody is speculating. Jennifer Blair Martin says Tom Petty lead up to I can't pronounce that name. I don't know who that is. Sorry, JBM, I can't help you there. If you're in the chat room, maybe she can explain what she means by that. April says it's going to, and then there's that name. I can't pronounce that name. I don't know what name that is. Anyway, big fun happening. And 3:00 today. 3:00 today, you'll get a full explanation. I imagine somebody's going to crack the mic at 3:00, and so be tuned in. I know I will. And then there's a party this evening that Schwartz, myself, Uncle Bob, we're gonna go over there. We're gonna crash the party. We're gonna see what's going on, and I'll take notes and I'll let you in on everything that is discussed over there. Other than that, I don't know anything. I just know what you're hearing and what's being reported on the radio and stuff. All right, let's get into today's show, huh? Wait, JBM says there's that name again. I can't pronounce that name. Was on the ticket, this person, years ago on KZEW. He has petty theft, a Tom Petty cover. I don't know who that is. Whitney says some radio guy, Kramer, has put all over Facebook that was flipping to sports. I'm hoping it's not. Keep hope alive, Whitney. That's all I'm saying. Now we know that there are people like Jeff Glenn out there who can't handle any acknowledgement that sports are a thing that people are interested in. I know that Jeff Glenn has to watch. I think that panic among that set of people about what they've heard is overstated. And again, I keep going back to what I'm seeing as a tagline that has unconfirmed been placed on the rumors, which is we talk about what we want when we want. So, I don't know if that's going to lead to much breakdown of the 4-2 versus a No, I don't know. I don't know that that's going to necessarily be. Maybe. What do I know? What do I know? More than you're letting on? You got to play ball, man. One thing I've learned in this business, you got to play ball. But yeah, everybody's hit me up about it. So there you go. I'm going to leave that up there. If you have any sort of dilemmas, scandals, you want to appear on Mansplaining, we'd love to talk to you. We need calls, especially in the early goings. You know, we had lined up a few calls for the first few shows. And then, you know, luckily as the show went on, like in the second hour, a whole bunch of real calls came in. So, you know, that was very encouraging to us. We were like, okay, these people are kind of getting it. But we'd still love to use your situations, and we will conceal your, you know, you can be anonymous if you want. Hell, if you want to participate by calling in and being a part of the show and having Schwartz and I do our best Dr. Drew and Adam kind of thing for you, you can do that as well. And, you know, fake names, whatever you want. We protect the innocent. That's not something that, you know, we are opposed to. Jeff Ballard says, yet another conservative talk radio station. Oh, I don't imagine that politics are going to enter into this station at all. Oh, Lord. Pretty sure that's not going to happen. Byron Granger says, live 105.3, we say what we want. I don't know. I don't know. Are we ready to start the show? Today is an exciting day. I want you all to tune in. I want you to be tuning into 97.1 The Eagle at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Get those champagne bottles ready. All right, let's talk about what today is, because the High Noon Show, we got to do an actual show here today. So let's run through all of the things that are happening in the world today. What we do is we do it in a couple of different parts. We start out with the history of the day. Tell you all about the stuff that went on this day, October the 3rd in history. Then we move into birthdays. We celebrate the contributions of people born on this day. And then we mourn a few losses. We mourn losses of people. Sometimes we don't mourn them. Sometimes it's like, I'm glad you're dead, because sometimes it's bad people. But, you know, and then we get into the trending topics, the headlines, the hot buzz, whatever it is people are talking about. So let me take a sip. Don't worry, it's not the black whiskey. It's too early for that. Although I may break it out and do a shot at 3 o'clock. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what's going on over there on 97.1. Been a weird weekend in this town. Let's get started. The High Noon Show is today, the 3rd day of October. Welcome, October. I love October. October is probably seasonally like my favorite month. I mean, I'm not crazy about Halloween, and let's be honest, Halloween comes at the end of the month anyway. So, but the season, you know, sweatshirt and shorts. God, that's the climate I want to live in. Just give me a sweatshirt, because you know, get a little chilly sometimes, but shorts. If I can still wear shorts, that's a good day. Today is October the 3rd. It is the 276th day of the year. There are 89 days remaining until the end of the year. On this day in 1789, George Washington proclaimed Thursday, November the 26th, 1789, a day of Thanksgiving. A day of So on this day in 1789, George Washington proclaimed the first day of Thanksgiving. On this day in 1863, the last Thursday in November is declared as Thanksgiving Day by U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. So look at that. See, this is the complete origin story of Thanksgiving. In 1789, George Washington said, let's just have a day. Let's just have one day. We're going to do it this year. It's going to be on this date. It's going to be in 1789. It's just one day where we can all get together and say thanks. And then it was like 63, 73, 74 years later that Abraham Lincoln went, let's make that day permanent. Let's do that as a permanent thing. On this day in 1949, Word, W-E-R-D, the first black-owned radio station in the United States, opens for business in Atlanta. On this day in 1990, the German Democratic Republic is abolished, and it becomes part of the Federal Republic of Germany. The event is afterwards celebrated as German Unity Day. I don't know. 1990. When did the Berlin Wall come down? Was this like the unification? Or I don't know. Whatever. Good for you, Germans. You got your stuff back. That's nice. On this day in 1995, O.J. Simpson's murder case came to an end. O.J. Simpson was acquitted of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. Man, I remember this. I was technical producer for the Kevin Matthews Show on the Loop in Chicago, and this was the most stressful. Okay, so we were big on covering the O.J. Simpson. Oh, really? Were you? Were you the only ones? Okay, everyone was big on covering the O.J. Simpson trial. But, I mean, we were particularly having a lot of, fun with it because we were a silly station. And this was before, automatic digital recordings and all that kind of stuff. And when the announcement was coming down that the jury had reached a decision, my host was like, we need to get that recorded, and then we need to get it on the air within seconds of it being read. And because we were not in the digital age back then, it was all about reel-to-reel recorders and tape and cutting with, tape and chalk and, a wax pen and all that. I'm good at that. I can do that. You throw me back into 1989 and I'll produce up some amazing audio. I don't know how to do digital. Never learned. I never learned digital. You know why I never learned digital? Because as a producer, I got really good at a particular kind of editing. Really good. I was good. Really good at a particular kind of editing. And then I got my own show and I got producers assigned to me. And it was just at that moment that everything switched over from the analog recording to digital recording. And I was a host. And I was like, I don't need to learn this. I should have learned it. All these years later, I still can't edit anything. And I know it's easy. And I know it's... Anyway, so the announcement is coming down. And we've got the feed from, ABC radio networks or whatever. And I'm recording it. And I'm in the back of the studio. And I got my headphones on. And the host is doing the show. And he's looking over his shoulder. And it comes down. And I'm recording. And it was so stressful. It was so stressful. Because if I had hit a wrong button, if the levels weren't right, I was going to get crushed. And then it was, acquitted. And everybody was like, wait, what? What? It was like, what? Acquitted? What do you mean acquitted? What do you mean they're saying that he didn't kill the what? I still have that reaction whenever in my mind, he did it. But, hey, whatever. Racist? No, not racist, not racist at all. Just no, how No, he did it. Come on, right? O.J. Simpson did it. There was a time in this country where if you thought O.J. Simpson did it, it was because you were racist. I'm like, what? No. It's nothing to do with it. Most people didn't even think O.J. Simpson was a black guy anyway. He was like, he was a country club. He was not loved by the black community. And then all of a sudden, it was like, defend him. Whatever. I get it. But we all know that he did it. We all know this is not a race issue. This is not a race issue. He did it. So did Dahmer. Dahmer did it. Casey did it. It's facts. It's like, let's get into some birthdays. People celebrating birthdays today. Born on this day in 1925, Gore Vidal, American novelist, screenwriter, and critic. Gore Vidal he did all kinds of things. But he was a part of a thing that we used to have in this country that we don't really have anymore. It was known as the public intellectual. There was a whole class of celebrity that was only famous because they were smart. And when they talked about stuff, people were like, oh, that's a really interesting perspective. Today, we don't have public intellectuals. We don't have these people. We don't have shows where I guess TED Talks, those we could consider those people public intellectuals. But Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley. They used to have these debates. They were both on different sides of arguments, and they were friends. They debated these heavy right versus left, progressive versus conservative type issues, and they stung each other every once in a while. But it was civil and it was smart, and they used like big words. Now it's like Fox News just gets too drunk from the corner tavern and they scream obscenities at each other. The level of discourse in this country has just gone completely into the toilet. And it's not good. It's not good. If you can't talk things out, if you can't argue without deciding that the other person is the Antichrist, that's a complete breakdown of one of the most important tenets of a civilized society, is that we can talk about these things. Gore Vidal, born on this guy, big gay too. He was a gay guy. He was a gay guy when you couldn't be gay. And I don't know that he was out, but everybody kind of knew, right? Kind of like Truman Capote, even though, I don't know. Not for nothing, just a trailblazer. Just a trailblazer as a guy. Actually, no, maybe he wasn't out. Because I think William F. Buckley once famously called him the F word, the one that we use, or that we used to use on playgrounds in the 80s to describe everything. You're such an... And then you'd say the F word. Can't do it anymore. And I'm okay with that, whatever. Although it's a fun word. It's a terrible word when you're using it as a pejorative to describe, somebody because of their sexual orientation. That's a terrible word. But, just the got. It's a fun word to say. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. But I wish it meant idiot, because, then I would say it more. I don't say it. I don't say it anymore. The R word too. Used to everybody in the 80s. Everybody in the 80s was the F word or the R word. Tie your shoes, ya R word. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. And it didn't mean, I guess it did mean, I guess we were just stupid. We didn't understand the gravity of what the word meant to, whatever. Hey, the world changes. The world changes. And if you don't keep up, that means you're old. So just try and keep up. Just go with it. Just understand that at some point you cede your relevance and power as a generational force in society to a younger one. And the younger one makes the rules for a period of time. And you either go along with it or you don't. Oh, by the way, that was one of the things that I saw at the Smashing Pumpkins Jane's Addiction show last night that I thought was so funny. Man, there is a group of people where the 1990s are still alive. They are thriving. There's that late 90s look where you would wear like black pants, black socks, black boots, a black t-shirt, and then you would have like a black baseball cap, but it was like the skater cap with the flat brim, which I hate, and maybe it had like some kind of skater kind of logo on it or something, and maybe you had a chain wallet. That look is alive and well and being embraced by any number of 55 plus year old men. There were like all of these old rockers that were all tatted up, and it's gray hair under their skater boy hat, earrings, it's like, I'm like, okay, that dude still thinks it's 1997. That dude stepped right out of the hot tub time machine and entered into 1997. It was fun. It was great people watching. It was great people. And then there was also the crowd, like the Dallas breast implant and cocaine crowd, who were probably in their prime for the Pumpkins, but are now in their mid 40s to late 40s. And, they own multiple car dealerships, or they finally inherited their dad's oil money or whatever, and so they're really, they were all there too. It was a very interesting crowd. Also, hardcore goths of all ages. Apparently the goth thing is still alive. And if you're an 18-year-old goth in 2022, apparently Jane's Addiction Smashing Pumpkins was a hot ticket for you, because there was a lot of that too. A lot of young people dressed in, like people like extras from the Addams Family, right? Like that's what they're all walking around. Like, okay, that's still around. And I said to my kid, I go, is goth, is that still a thing? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, goth is big. I go, still. All right. Moody, depressing. I guess that's still a thing. Byron Granger says, I think once a man hits 50, he must stop wearing eyeliner. I think that's a good rule. I think that's a good rule too. I think, actually, you know what? I think you just got to do you. I personally, were I 49 and wearing eyeliner, I might stop at 50. So I might agree. But hey, do you? I don't care. Those guys were all having fun. I saw one guy that was all rocked out, and he had long gray hair. He wasn't necessarily doing the skater thing, but he was like super rocked out. He was wearing a what was that band? I can't think of the band. It was Perry Farrell's other band. Porno for Pyros. That's it. He was wearing a Porno for Pyros concert t-shirt that was all faded and old and looks like he bought it in 1996, except now he's 2 sizes bigger, but he's still wearing the shirt. And it's like, and he don't care. He don't care because he was like 60. But here's the other thing he had. He had a cane. He was walking with a cane. And I'm like, that's a crazy look. That's like Skater Boy. He's got a cane. Interesting. It was great people watching at the concert last night. Born on this day in 1941, another legend, Chubby Checker. Come on, baby. Twist, right? Wasn't that his song, Twist? I make no distinction between Fats Domino and Chubby Checker. They're like I had to think this morning about Chubby Checker, and I went, oh, he was the Twist guy. And then Fats Domino was the Blueberry Hill. Found my whatever. They both had nicknames that suggested obesity. That's let's see who else having a birthday today. 1949, born on this day, Lindsey Buckingham, American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and producer. Lindsey Buckingham, one of the I almost said one of the most underrated, but he's not an underrated guitar player. He is a tremendous guitar player. I think he's an underappreciated guitar player. I think the metal guitar players or the heavy, although he's kind of blues based, but the like the Claptons and the Becks, and then you get into the Van Halens and the Vais. I think those are the guys that everybody goes, huh. But Lindsey Buckingham is a guitar player, boy. He knows how to play that guitar. Happy birthday to you, Lindsey Buckingham. Lindsey Buckingham, also the subject of a running bit on Saturday Night Live, where that talk show that Keenan Ivory Wayans Thompson, he did that show, What's Up With That, where they never actually got to the point of whatever they were talking about. But Lindsey Buckingham was always the guest they never got to. And Bill Hader played him, and he just sat there on the panel and was never asked a question. It's just, I'm so sorry we ran out of time with Lindsey Buckingham. Let's see here. Born on this day in 1951, Dave Winfield. One of the greats. Dave Winfield was a baller. Born on this day in 1952, Bruce Arians, recently retired Super Bowl winning coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bruce Arians. Born on this day in 1954, Dennis Eckersley, American baseball player and sportscaster, really took the closer role in baseball to new heights. The closer was kind of a garbage position. Eckersley had been a starting pitcher who had lost his ability to go more than 2 or 3 innings. So they just, I think it was Tony La Russa who just said, you know what, can you give me 1 inning? And he's like, I can give you 1 hell of an inning. And he did. Dennis Eckersley made a career out of being the greatest closer that the world. Now, we have since seen people like Mariano Rivera. We've seen other guys come in the closer position. But yeah, he was Dennis Eckersley, man. When that dude came out of the bullpen, you knew it was over. He was lights out for a period of time. Umbilical cousins with Dennis Eckersley. Born on this day in 1954, Al Sharpton, American minister, talk show host, and political activist. And the primary reason that I won't watch MSNBC anymore, I stopped watching MSNBC, 10 years ago now, when they hired Al Sharpton. I went, oh, I see what they're doing. They don't care about facts. He's a troublemaker. Look, no matter what you think about his politics and all that stuff, he will never live down the Tawana Brawley situation. Just look up the Tawana Brawley situation. It is despicable. I don't care what you agree with his takes on I don't care. That just tells me so much about who the guy is. That was trouble. Happy birthday, Al Sharpton. Stevie Ray Vaughan, born on this day. Ooh, look, also umbilical cousins to Dennis Eckersley and Al Sharpton. Stevie Ray Vaughan, American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and producer, crashed into a hillside in Wisconsin, Alpine Valley, Wisconsin, after a concert with Eric Clapton and Buddy Guy. And tragic loss. Tragic loss. Born on this day in 1962, Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee is 60 years old today. Tommy Lee, drummer of Motley Crue. So Stevie Ray Vaughan is dead at 30, and Tommy Lee lives to be 60. Tell me about your God. Tell me about your God and decisions that he makes. Stevie Ray, dead at 30. Happy 60th birthday, Tommy Lee. Okay, all right. Look, I'm not saying Tommy Lee should be dead. I'm just saying, I guess there's no rhyme or order to any of this. Born on this day in 1969. Oh, what a doll. What a doll. Happy birthday, Gwen Stefani. She's just a girl. Oh, I hope she's celebrating with her. Is she still with Blake Shelton? She was always famously like in the 90s and like in the early 2000s, she was with Gavin Rossdale of Bush. And it was like, oh my God, two super attractive people. Yeah. Well, I'm glad they found each other. And now she's how old is she? 53 years old, Gwen Stefani. By the way, the opening band, but there was a third opening band that I haven't mentioned from the concert last night. Their name was Poppy. Poppy. They were good. They were crazy good. They were like, okay, I think they might actually be a band. Like a lot of times you see like opening acts and you're like, yeah, we'll never hear from them again. I'm like, they might actually be a band. And I'll tell you why they might actually be a band. And this is why the Gwen Stefani birthday. Their lead singer is amazing. I mean, even if their lead singer just dumps the rest of the band and goes solo, she is amazing. She can sing, she can scream. She does a lot of screaming, yelling. My kid was taken by a joke that he had. He's like, "Gotta get that girl a Ricola," and then like the people sitting next to us laughed because she was like, "Yeah," because she screams. Oh my God, she gave a performance as a lead singer. And then, did I mention, she's so hot. She's really, I mean, if I'm a record company guy, I'm like, okay, so she's talented. She's legitimately talented. And she's really hot. I don't know anything about Poppy. I don't know. Although something weird happened last night when I was at the concert. Is this a thing? Am I just an old man and this is a thing that happens now? I was at the concert and I got a follow on Twitter from Poppy, the band, like their official site followed me. Is that, and I followed them back. I guess that's what they want. They want to follow back, but is that like a thing? Like, because my phone, were they able, is that a thing that happens? I don't know. Maybe it was because I posted about being at the Jane's Addiction Smashing Pumpkins show. And then they went, oh, well, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, it was weird. I thought, did everybody in this place? Because it's sold out. What is that, like 20,000 people in the American Airlines Center? I'm like, what is everybody just got followed by, I don't know. Happy birthday, Gwen Stefani. I still have a big crush on you. Born on this day in 1973. Someone else I have a big crush on, but it's complicated. It's Lena Headey. Lena Headey is celebrating a birthday today. She is, of course, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. I think she's so beautiful, but that character, she was such a great character. Don't get me wrong. It's like, oh, I can't watch that character. It's no, give me more of that character. But it is such a despicable character that she played. I'm like, how can I still have a crush on her? How can I still have a crush on Lena Headey? And she's this terrible. The only thing I know her from is just being this awful, monstrous human being. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Lena Headey, born on this day in 1973, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. Born on this day in 1976, Sean William Scott, Stifler. Did he do anything else? I know he did a bunch of stuff, but Stifler from the American Pie movies, born on this day in 1976. Born on this day in 1984, Ashley Simpson. She's the little sister of Jessica Simpson. And I was trying to think about this because you had Jessica Simpson. She became big. Although Jessica Simpson, there was like everything happens in threes. They did three. They did Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Jessica Simpson. Those were like the three young blondes that were made celebrities in the summer of 1999 or whatever. I don't even know when it was. But she was one of those three. And then she blew up. She became very big in her own right because of what? A reality show, right? Isn't that what set Jessica Simpson apart from Aguilera, who had legit talent? Spears, who it's just Britney, man. She's just iconic. You can't explain that. That's lightning in a bottle. I don't know what happened there. So you get Britney, and then you got the actual talent in Christina Aguilera. And then there was just Jessica Simpson, who was hot, not particularly great singer. She could also act a little, but, she didn't know what she was going to do. Was she going to be an actress? Was she going to be a singer? But she popped because of that reality show. And then because she got so big in reality, they made her sister famous, Ashley, who's celebrating a birthday today. And I think we were all kind of like, okay, well, they're going to force feed us another one now. We got another Simpson. How many more they got? And then Ashley Simpson was just always Jessica Simpson's little sister. And then she put an album out, and that album exploded. And that album became a legitimate hit album. And she became a legitimate person in her own right, a celebrity, no longer just Jessica Simpson's sister, but now she was Ashley Simpson, a person with a couple of, hit records that were out there, legitimate hit records. People liked them. They weren't just disposable. She had her own following, and and then she went on Saturday Night Live and had that lip syncing incident where it was revealed that she didn't sing. Do you remember that? Remember where the music track that she was lip syncing to stopped? And I don't exactly remember how it went down. That kind of ended her, right? That kind of ended Ashley Simpson. Ashley Simpson never really recovered from that. I mean, what's she doing? Noxzema commercials after that for a couple of years, and then really nothing. But happy birthday. I'm sure she's sitting on a big pile of money. Let's see here. Okay, how about some deaths? Let's talk about some people who passed away on this day. On this day in 1838, Black Hawk, American tribal leader, chief, warlord of the Sauk tribe, Black Hawk died. And this is important. This is, I always like to say, there are a lot of people who don't use their heads and they don't really think things through. And occasionally you'll have someone say something stupid like, well, if they're going to change the Washington Redskins because Redskins is offensive, and if they're going to change the Cleveland Indians because Cleveland Indians is offensive, change the Chicago Blackhawks because that's offensive. And it's like, oh, you're so stupid. You really aren't thinking this through, are you? The reason that the Washington Redskins had a bit of a problem is because Redskins is a pejorative slur that is used to talk about just all native peoples, right? It's just, lousy Redskins. So whether you agree or disagree with that, that is a fact. That redskin is a term for a whole bunch of people. Oh, look at them. The Redskins are coming. Something like that. Cleveland Indian, a little lesser offensive. But, the problem with Cleveland Indians is that they weren't Indians. They weren't from India. Columbus got it wrong. He thought he was in India, and so he named all the people Indians. And then for years, they're like, we're not Indians. We're indigenous, we're tribal, or, we are Sauk, or we're Lakota, or we're, whatever we are. So that's that. So that's why those are problematic names. Black Hawk, the Chicago Blackhawks are named after a dude. It's the glorification, the romanticization of a guy, an actual guy who accomplished things. It's not like, oh, look at them dirty Blackhawks. No, Black Hawk was a guy. Black Hawk was a leader. He was incredibly big in the northern Illinois, Chicago area now. He controlled everything from like upper Wisconsin to the Iowa borders. And that's why in that part of the country, there's like Black Hawk County, there's a big statue of Chief Black Hawk. People don't realize that it's not offensive. Calling the Chicago Blackhawks is not offensive because it's about a guy. It's about a single guy who's being raised up as this icon of leadership and a great military mind. It's not offensive. It's praising. So that's why the Chicago Blackhawks never get in trouble for that. Also, the Black Hawk helicopter, the Black Hawk division in the United States Army, all of that stuff is named for Chief Black Hawk, who was considered, this great military mind. And yeah, he fought with the British in the War of 1812 against the Americans because the Americans were trying westward, destiny, manifest destiny, whatever it was, and the Americans were trying to get rid of all the Indians, and the British said, hey, if you help us push them back, we'll take care of you. And they were like, all right. So there you have it. Dead on this day in 1967, Woody Guthrie, American singer, songwriter, and guitarist. He was born in 1912. This land is your land. That's it. I don't know what else he did. I don't know. Trampled Underfoot. That's right. He also wrote Trampled Underfoot, made famous by Led Zeppelin. Dead on this day in 1998, Roddy McDowall. Roddy McDowall, English-American actor. Roddy McDowall was another one of these early gay, right? Early gay. He was gay. Everybody knew he was gay. Like all of his friends knew he was gay and all that kind of stuff, but he was never really allowed to be out. So he had to live his entire life in the closet, as they called it back then. He did everything. Roddy McDowall was in movies from the time he was like 10 years old. He was like a child actor. But most famous for me, Cornelius in the Planet of the Apes movies. He was the star. He was the main gorilla in the Planet of the Apes movies. He was awesome. Right? God loves Cornelius. Cornelius was my favorite monkey. Ape. Sorry. Apparently the monkey and ape community are going to be outraged. Janet Leigh died on this day in 2004. Janet Leigh, actress, Birds, right? The Birds. Or Psycho. Or both. Which one? No. Melanie Griffith's mom, Tippi Hedren, was in The Birds. Janet Leigh was in Psycho. Okay, Janet Leigh, Psycho. There you go. She died on this day in 2004. The mother of Jamie Lee Curtis. There you go. Jamie Lee Curtis's mom. Also, dead on this day in the year 2014, Kevin Metheny. Kevin Metheny died on this day in 2014, and you probably say to yourself, Pugs, who the hell's Kevin Metheny? I've never heard of Kevin Metheny. Oh, yes, you have. Yes, you have. Kevin Metheny was made famous by Paul Giamatti in the Howard Stern movie Private Parts. Kevin Metheny was Pig Vomit. That's right, Pig Vomit, the program director who tried to destroy everything that Howard Stern was building. There you go. And I can tell you, towards the end of his life, he died suddenly of a heart attack. So very, very, very sad. We take that stuff very seriously. He was not an old man. He ran in, I want to say maybe 2008, 2009, WGN Radio in Chicago, which is an iconic radio station in my hometown and a station that I hold near and dear to my heart. He ran that station, and I have a number of friends who worked for him. It's like, was everything true? Like, was he like the way he was portrayed in Private Parts? And worse. Like, he was unbelievably difficult. He was. And one of my friends who worked for him and was fired by him, told me that from his understanding, the character of Pig Vomit in the Howard Stern movie wasn't exclusively Kevin Metheny. It was a composite of all of these different program directors that Howard Stern had worked for. However, the depiction in the film takes place when he was at WNEW, when Kevin Metheny was the program director. So the belief is that Kevin Metheny was truly not as awful as Howard portrayed him. And Howard said himself, when Kevin Metheny died, Howard basically said exactly what I'm saying, that he wasn't that bad. I just needed all of the terrible things that program directors had said to me over the years. I needed that all wrapped up into one guy. So, that was not necessarily who he was. Although my friend who worked for him had a theory, and I've since heard this from other people as well. It was only after Private Parts came out that he truly went in that direction. He decided to own the characterization and become that guy, And by the time 2008 rolled around, he was just awful, just unbearable. But he kept getting work. The guy worked right up till the day he died, dropped dead in San Francisco. I think that's where he was. I think he was running a station in San Francisco in 2014 when he died. All right, let's get into all the things that are trending. We are here with this is the bulk of the show. This is what we do every day here, Monday through Friday. We like to talk about all the things that are trending, the headlines, the hot topics, whatever it is. We get it for you. Okay, so Ian, Hurricane Ian. We got a death count. Lee County, Florida is also trending. 70, at least 70 are dead in Florida due to Hurricane Ian. Number is expected to rise as there are still missing people out there. The majority of these deaths occurred with drownings. That sounded weird. Do you ever have that? You've had that where you say a word that you say all the time and it just sounds weird, and you're like, have I been pronouncing that word wrong? Drowning. It's not drowning. Drowning. I was drowning. No, that's not it. All right. Hurricane Ian death count tops top 70 in Florida. Drowning. There it is. I see it spelled out. Drowning. There's no D. It's not drowning. Drowning is the leading cause of death. Most of the deaths in Hurricane Ian were from drowning. This, according to official accounts, fatalities from a storm that has killed at least 70 people. Officially, 25 deaths have been tied to the hurricane, according to reports from medical examiners' offices, but authorities are reporting far more deaths in hardest hit areas. Combining tallies from the Florida Medical Examiners Commission with other deaths reported by Sheriff's Office on Saturday, Hurricane Ian has killed at least, now they changed it, 71 people in Florida. Yeah. Lee County accounts for half of the deaths. Those reports show floodwaters were the greatest danger from the storm. Of the 25 official fatalities in those reports, all but 5 were listed as drowning deaths. Drowning, or fire. That's a bad choice. Would you rather drown? Something about drowning, I think. But burning too. Never mind. God, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're supposed to be in a good mood today. What are you doing? I don't know. That's my co-host, schizophrenic me. It's the guy who just tells me what an asshole I am. Let's see here. Okay. Irony is trending. I clicked on it. I'm like, why is this trending? Irony is trending. It's trending along with migrants because Florida needs migrants. Florida needs migrants to come and clean all this up. That's right. They do. But unfortunately, they put them all on a plane and they sent them to New York, and now they're being allowed back. Now come on back, migrants. We got a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be cleaned up. This is hysterical. This just shows how little forethought people put into this issue. This is just, you didn't think down the road, did you? You didn't think, who's going to pick your oranges? Well, we're not worried about that yet because it's not orange season. What if a hurricane hits and it destroys half the state? Who's going to clean that up? What are you doing? Migrants are reportedly being transported from New York City to Florida for work supporting cleanup efforts in the wake of Hurricane Ian, weeks after the governor put migrants on a flight to Martha's Vineyard. Over the weekend, scores of Venezuelan migrants were boarding vans heading to the Sunshine State from pickup points in Queens, New York, despite having little information about who they would be working for. The New York Post says, they want us for human hurricane cleanup. We get paid $15 an hour overtime and $15 for food daily, I think, Javier Moreno, 37, told the paper, adding that a woman named Camilla from an organization approached him with a flyer about the work. I'm going for the work, Moreno added. News of their journey south comes after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis controversial flew migrants from Texas to Martha's Vineyard to protest the hypocrisy of the Biden administrator's border policies. Okay, so that's why irony is trending. Let's see, what else do we have? Soccer stampede. Oh my gosh. Oh geez, you guys see this? Oh my God. Here we got some video. There was a soccer stampede. I don't know where it was. It was one of those places where like kids start smoking at 5 years old, and you see them in like outside little mud huts and they're just chain smoking and they're 5. It's like Malaysia or something. I don't know, somewhere like that. So here's what happened. So basically it's like, this was a soccer game. Basically, like the Green Bay Packers played the Chicago Bears. It was like this great rivalry in this park. And one of the teams, and we'll call them the Chicago Bears, they hadn't won. They hadn't beaten the Green Bay Packers in like decades, right? So it was just like, and they won. The underdog visiting team won this soccer match in Malaysia. And what happened was the fans couldn't handle it. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with starting smoking at 5 years old. Maybe that stops your ability to, rationally process information. But everybody stormed onto the field, and then the police. And have you ever seen like police in that part of the world, how they deal with people storming on the field? There are no rules. They can just do whatever they need, and maybe rightfully so. But here we got some video of it. Let's. Oh boy, what's happening here? Here it is. Okay. Yeah, we'll show these videos. I don't know how. Hopefully we'll be able to see this. 170 people died during this. Here you go. We watching this? All right. We'll start it over from the beginning. So they all run out onto the field. They can't believe their team lost. I don't know what they're doing. All right, so now here comes the police. Now see them with the shields. Here they come. They're all scampering like rats. People about to get their heads cracked open with bats. These cops are just swinging these bats. Get off the field. Bunch of rejects. There he goes. He got him. Look at him. Oh, kicked in the butt. He's going to get hit again. Oh, and he bounced. Oh, and he's getting hit again. Now he's going to climb the wall. Oh, he falls. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Look at this nonsense. What are those, tear gas canisters? Pretty shitty stadium, too. That stadium's garbage. Due for a bleacher collapse, I'm sure. Look at this guy. This guy seems to be walking off peacefully. Give him a whack. Somebody hit him. Look, he's talking crap to the cop. Not a cop's going to push him. All right, there you go. I think we got another video, too, that shows another angle. Let's see. Yeah, here's more. Here's more from that same thing. Warning, video contains distressing images. We'll be the judge of that. There were tragic scenes. At least 174 people died at Kanjuruhan Stadium on Saturday, with many more injured. All right, let's see what we can see here. Is anybody getting their heads cracked? Police fired tear gas in an attempt to disperse rioting fans on the pitch during an Indonesian Liga 1 matchup between Irma. I don't even know. Oh, I'm sorry. Couldn't read it fast enough. East Java. I don't even know where that is. Malaysia, right? What's the difference between Malaysia and Indonesia? I don't know. Letters. That's the difference between Malaysia and Indonesia. All right, who's this? Oh, of course, this is Joko Widodo. Powerful Indonesian president. I have no idea who that guy is. All right, so that happened. Brazil is also trending. We don't care. We should absolutely not care at all. Doesn't affect the price of mayonnaise here in the United States. But Brazil has an election, and it's like the worst possible choice for the people in Brazil. It's like this crazy, radical, far left guy taking on this crazy, radical, far right guy. And it's a runoff. They can't choose between their monsters. They're like, oh, this monster or that monster. Honestly, I'm not going to spend any time on Brazil. It's stupid. We don't care. We shouldn't care. Well, I mean, we should care in the greater scheme of things, because Brazil is a massively big country, and if somebody ever runs Brazil properly, Brazil could be one of the superpowers. It's so big, and there's so much resources there, and nobody's ever gotten around to running that place properly. 60% of Americans is trending today. This is the headline that I pulled out of, where is this coming? Okay, so this is CNBC. What about 60% of Americans? Well, I'll tell you if you give me a second. Unrelenting inflation is taking a toll, leaving more Americans living paycheck to paycheck. 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Almost everyone has felt the sting of rising prices. As of August, 60% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck, according to a recent report, a number that hasn't budged much since inflation hit a 40-year high a year ago. The number of adults who felt stretched too thin was closer to 55%. I mean, I've been living paycheck to paycheck for a couple of years now. So, I mean, Hey, welcome to the club, people. It's not fun, but, it's the way a lot of us have to live. More consumers living paycheck to paycheck indicates that many are continuing to lose their financial stability. The Consumer Price Index, which measures the average change in price for consumer goods and services, rose higher than expected, 8.3% in August, driven by increases in food, shelter, and medical care costs. I buy my cleaning products when I need to buy cleaning products. I buy them all at the dollar stores, and I went into a Family Dollar, which I don't suggest. I don't recommend Family Dollar. I don't. Dollar Tree. I like Dollar Tree. Everything at Dollar Tree is now $1.25. Because remember what Dollar Tree did? Inflation rose 11%. So when everything was $1 at Dollar Tree, and inflation was up 11%, that means if they wanted to keep pace, they would have to raise their prices on everything to $1.11. But they raised everything to $1.25. So the Dollar Tree people are making crazy more money, and that's what's called, in my opinion, exploiting the situation. If Dollar Tree had just gone, hey, look, everyone knows that the economy is in the toilet, and we are now taking a loss on these cheap bullshit products that you buy from us for $1. We're now actually taking an 11-cent loss. So what we'd like to do is we'd like to just, with your understanding, we're going to play fair. We're going to raise it to $1.11. So everything is now $1.11. And as that ticks up, we'll no, they just went straight to $1.25. They decided that they were going to make an extra 14 cents on everything that they sold because, people are. All right, thank you. I walk into a Family Dollar, which again, I don't like Family Dollar. Family Dollars, they're always crappy. Like Dollar Trees are cheap. Like everything in there is cheap, but they're clean and they're lit a certain way, and you can see the entire store. You know what I mean? They're laid out in a way where you can stand in the front and go, okay, I'm going to go over there. They're laid out like a Target, kind of that kind of deal. Not Family Dollars. Family Dollars has rows and there's just like shit stacked up in boxes. It sucks. I hate the Family Dollar. I feel like a loser in the Family Dollar. I feel like a smart consumer when I'm in a Dollar Tree. But I went to the Family Dollar and I couldn't believe how expensive everything was there now. Like, even though everything was never just $1 at the Family Dollar, like it is at the Dollar Tree, things were still like you could get like aspirin. Like, all right, you want to buy some ibuprofen, you get like a thing of ibuprofen, you get 50 tablets, and it'd be like $2.25. Oh, that's great. That's fine. Again, Dollar Tree is $1.25, but whatever. It's convenient. I'm here at this fan. Everything's now like $3, $4, $5. I'm like, this isn't even a dollar store anymore. This is just the world's shittiest CVS. That's what this is now. So there you go. That's my take on the economy. Shitty Dollar Trees or Family Dollar stores. What do we have? What else do we got here? This is a crazy story. Yuba City, California is trending. Did you guys see this story today? So there's a high school, an entire high school football team's season has been canceled. They just went, we're done. You know what? We're not playing this season. Why? Oh, this is so dumb. I'm just going to read it to you. Kids are so dumb. Kids, especially boys. Is there a dumber thing on the planet than a 16-year-old boy? Isn't that? Oh, let's give him a driver's license. The dumbest people on the planet are between the ages of 13 and 22. And they're all boys. That's deeply offensive. California school forfeits football season following slave auction. The football team held a slave auction where they took all of the black players and they made them stand up in a row, and then they started bidding on them for their qualities Yeah. Oh, and adding to my theory that they filmed it as a funny YouTube video. Just a Northern California high school canceled the rest of its football season after the team enacted a racist and offensive prank. The football team at River Valley High School in Yuba City, California, shared a video where team members appeared to act out a slave auction with black teammates. Yuba City Unified School District Superintendent Doreen Osumumi, oh man, that last name. Oh, that she probably was not going to take kind. That's, I mean, doesn't that sound like one of those African names? Like, that sounds to me like she's maybe like a lady who maybe her parents, did the American Dream thing. They came over here from Nigeria or wherever, and now look at her. She's risen to the level of school district superintendent. Doreen Osumunu. It's hard to pronounce. If it's not, a Western European name, I have difficulty with it. Malaysian names, Indian names, it's racist because you have difficulty with names you're not familiar with. Again, I don't think that makes me racist. I think that means that I struggle with things I'm unfamiliar with, but I'm open to try. I'm going to try. And you know what? To that point, I'm going to try and give this lady's name a proper pronunciation. Yuba City Unified School District Superintendent Doreen Osumuni. I can't do it. I don't know. Osumni provided a statement. We're moving on. Just move on. She provided a statement to CNN and CBS News calling the prank deeply offensive. USA Today reached out to the school district for comment on Monday, but did not hear anything back. Reenacting a slave sale as a prank tells us that we have a great deal of work to do with our students so they can distinguish between intent and impact. There's that name again. Osumni wrote, they may have thought this skit was funny, but it's not. It's unacceptable and requires us to look honestly and deeply at the issue of systematic racism. Okay. All right. I happen to believe that there is elements of systematic racism, but I think this is just dumb kids doing dumb things because kids are awful. Because kids are just awful. And, maybe at 25, they'd go, I can't believe I participated in that. The team members involved in the video were kicked off the team for the remainder of the season for violating the school's student-athlete code of conduct, and that left the football team without enough players to compete for the rest of the 2022 campaign. River Valley forfeited the rest of their games on its schedule. In a school email, Osumni previously wrote to parents and district members saying, I received a copy of a recording of River Valley High School football team members acting out a reprehensible act of a slave auction. The recording clearly demonstrates that this situation was orchestrated and organized, which underscores my concern that students spent time contemplating this terrible act without the slightest regard that this action is hateful and hurtful. Okay. It's a proper statement, from a school superintendent. I would expect that to be but don't kid yourself for 1 minute. These kids never contemplated what slavery was. That's not what they did. They didn't sit around and go, all right, let's talk about the tragedies and terrors of the Middle Passage and open your books to page 5. They didn't do that. That's not what they did. They went, hey, this will be funny. And then somebody laughed, and that guy was encouraged by somebody laughing. He said, yeah, and then we could do that. That's how it happens. They didn't give this any contemplation. They're just dumb little monsters because everyone between the ages of 13 and 22, especially if you're a boy, you're a dumb little monster. Now, the distinction I make is that women between the ages of 13 and 22, they're not dumb little monsters. They're just monsters. They're monsters who are way more manipulative and way more. And this probably comes from, oh God, never mind. I'm not going to get into a whole anthropological kind of discussion about, the way women are wired in society versus the way men are wired in society. But, the big dumb guy, Hulk smash. The girl, she's got to use her brain. She's got to be a bit more manipulative with Hulk. So whereas boys, remember, if you're keeping notes here, boys between the ages of 13 and 22, dumb little monsters, the worst people. They don't even think about anything. They're just monstrous. They're just awful. Girls in that same age group, just monsters. They're just monsters. Mean. I don't think that empathy or consideration for others' feelings, I don't think that really gets fully developed in women until, I don't know, maybe childbirth. I don't know. But the meanest creature on the planet is a 14-year-old girl. I'm just telling you right now. You can give me all of these dictators in South America or whatever. No, the meanest person on the planet currently is a 14-year-old girl, probably in Ohio, terrorizing some other group of girls, and I stand by it. Anyway, there you go. That's why this Yuma, California football team had to cancel their entire season. Yuba City. Kim Kardashian is trending. That's right, my good pal, Kim Kardashian. Haven't spoken to her since that time where she explained the difference to me between verde, green salsa, and red salsa. But, she's still been making news. What's she been up to? What has Kim Kardashian been up to since 2009? That's when that took place. She's being sued. Kim Kardashian she's reached a deal, but she was charged by the SEC with, here's what she was doing. She would go on her Instagram and she would be like, you need to buy this kind of cryptocurrency. It's so great. And I'm loving it. She did that on her Instagram, but the SEC was like, what are you involved in a pump and dump? You have to tell people that you're being paid to endorse that. You can't just buy cryptocurrency and then go on your Instagram account and tell your millions and millions of people to buy that cryptocurrency without telling them that you've been paid to ask people to buy that cryptocurrency, because that's what a pump and dump is. You promote a stock, you get it all the way up, and then when all of the people that you've influenced to buy that stock with you are all bought in, you sell. You buy it here, you get everybody, that's the pump. You pump, and then as soon as it gets up there, you dump out of it. And that's essentially what she did. So she's going to pay, what does she got to pay, $1 million? She's pled guilty to this. We'll give you the full story, or at least the details. And Kim Kardashian, she can't have it both ways. She can't, because she's kind of doing the whole, I didn't know. I'm just a pretty girl, and I didn't know I couldn't do that. I thought you were a lawyer. I thought, weren't it like a couple of months ago, weren't you going around, I'm a lawyer now? What is going on? Don't play stupid. Yeah. The top U.S. financial regulator has charged celebrity Kim Kardashian for touting a cryptocurrency on her Instagram account without disclosing that she was paid for the promotion. The SEC said Monday Kardashian has agreed to pay a fine of $1 million. She's got that in her clutch. She's literally got a $1 million bill that she carries around. Nothing. It's tip money. That's just tip money for her. She's a billionaire. She's like, right? Isn't Kardashian a billionaire? The Kardashian line and all that stuff. I think that's the SEC fined her $1 million, although she did not admit or deny the SEC's findings. She will also give back $260,000, which includes her payment from the company with interest. Mrs. Kardashian's case also serves as a reminder to celebrities and others that the law requires them to disclose to the public when and how much they are being paid to promote investing in securities, said SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Kardashian, who has around 330 million Instagram followers, 330 million, was paid $250,000 to promote cryptocurrency offered by Ethereum Max, called EMAX tokens. According to regulators, her post also provided instructions for potential investors to purchase EMAX tokens, and that violates an anti-touting provision in the federal securities laws. As the popularity of crypto has ballooned, companies have spent millions of dollars on marketing. Many of them have hired celebrity spokespersons, including comedian Larry David and actor Matt Damon, to promote their products. But after the value of Bitcoin and other digital currencies plummeted, many of them have been criticized for boosting them. Okay. 2 years ago, the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, fired off warning letters to several internet influencers and celebrities like the recording artists Cardi B and Jordan Sparks, reminding them of their legal obligation to disclose their connections to the products they promote. While Kardashian didn't admit or deny the SEC findings, In an agreement with the regulator, she did agree to not promote any crypto asset securities for 3 years. NPR has reached out to Kardashian for comment. I didn't know. It's just my Instagram. God, you guys. I thought you were a lawyer. I thought you were like going between the boop boop beep doop thing and like I'm a lawyer now. Like, which is it? Are you like smart? Because we all went, Kim Kardashian's pretty smart. Which, having the close personal relationship that I have with Kim Kardashian, I will tell you, I was not struck by her stupidity. I did not think she was stupid. I thought she was actually charming. I thought she was interesting. I thought she was, and again, this wasn't just in the interview. This was after the interview when I said, I'm hungry, and I got up and I was going to the buffet, and she said, oh, is that where the food is? And I'm like, yeah. I go, come on, let's go. We'll get some food. And so we went and we stood in line with Stuart Copeland of the police. It was me, Stuart Copeland, and Kim Kardashian. My book's going to have stories. And then I said, I never remember which is the hot salsa and which is and then she went into this whole break. Anyway, my point is, she struck me as like a bright, charming, smart girl. I mean, this characterization, I'm just a girl. I'm kidding with that. That's not at all how I came across with her, or how she came across to me, I should say. All right. So she's got to pay like $1,260,000, which is absolutely nothing for her. Sasheen Littlefeather is trending. Sasheen Littlefeather has died. How old was she? I think she's 75 years old. Do you guys remember who she is? I mean, I don't remember who she was because I'm not that old. But back in, what was it, like 1974, I think it was, at the Oscars, Marlon Brando had won the Best Actor Oscar for Godfather. And he didn't show up. He refused to show up for the ceremony. Instead, he sent Sasheen Littlefeather in his place on the chance that he won the Oscar, to get up there and not accept the Oscar for him. He was rejecting the Oscar, and he let her make a little speech on how we've been treating Native Americans and all that kind of thing. So that's her. That's what she's famous for. She was beautiful. She was this beautiful Native American girl, and she was wearing her little Native American outfit. Really? That's how you're going to describe it. You marginalize their long-standing and proud culture. Go ahead. You just say she's wearing her little Indian outfit. She was dressed in what's the word? Authentic, tribal, whatever. She got up there. She looked beautiful, though. Beautiful. And she started saying, we will not accept this award because of the ongoing treatment. You can find it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. And today, of all days, it's everywhere. But I can't be bothered. It's basically, you're treating Indians bad. And then people were like, you suck! Kill all the Indians! I mean, the reaction in 1974 to this was just like, I survived the Depression and World War II! It's like, it was that crowd of people. It were those people they didn't want. This was Sasheen Littlefeather, the Native American actress and activist who declined Marlon Brando's Best Actor Oscar in 1973, has died. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Scientists announced Sunday night she was 75 years old. The Academy announced Littlefeather's death on its Twitter account. No cause of death was immediately given, but multiple news outlets reported that Littlefeather had been suffering from breast cancer. Sasheen Littlefeather, Native American civil rights activist and actress who famously declined Marlon Brando's 73 Best Actor Academy Award, dies at 75. Okay. Born Mary Louise Cruz on November 14th, 1946 in Salinas, California, Little Feather later changed her name in her 20s as she explored her family's Native American heritage and became an activist. On March 27th, 1973, she provided one of the most dramatic moments in Oscar history. As Brando's name was read for winning Best Actor for his role in The Godfather, Little Feather took to the stage wearing moccasins and a buckskin dress to politely offer Brando's regrets for refusing the award because of Hollywood's treatment and portrayal of Native Americans. Her speech to decline the Oscar on behalf of Brando was met by a mixture of boos and cheers. It wasn't a mixture. It was really unfortunate the way people treated this little girl. This little sweet. She was pretty. She was cute. She got up there and she was just like, she was nice. She wasn't like, nah, nah. She didn't go all AOC. You know, she wasn't like, nah, 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 like that. No, she was really nice. And she's like, I'm so sorry, but we cannot. You suck! You know, it's just awful. You know, you get like Burt Lancaster, you know, he's all mad. I don't know if it was Burt Lancaster, but you know what I mean? It was dudes like that. It was dudes from that era. Her speech to decline the Oscar on behalf of Brando was met by a mixture of boos and cheers. She said she saw the actor John Wayne being restrained from rushing the stage while she was on. Like that. Like John Wayne. Wow. Yeah. Sit down. Sit down, John Wayne. This past August, NPR's Mandalit Del Barco say it again. Mandalit Del Barco. Oh, God, I'm going to now, if I ever have an affair, like if I ever get married and then have an affair and have to check into a hotel, that's going to be my having an affair name. I'm going to check in under Mandalit Del Barco. NPR's Mandalit Del Barco reported on an interview that Little Feather gave to member station KQED in 2020 about the speech and its fallout. She says, people were making money off of that racism of the Hollywood Indian. Of course, they're going to boo. They don't want their evening interrupted, Little Feather said. She was escorted off stage at the Oscars by a team of security guards. She's escorted off stage by a team of security guards. 40 years later, Will Smith pops Chris Rock in the face right there on live TV, and no security can be found anywhere. Maybe if Will Smith had been dressed like a little 22-year-old, 105-pound Indian girl, they would have descended on that stage and saved Chris Rock from the embarrassment. Earlier this year, Brando later acknowledged regret for the position he had put Little Feather. Where is it? Earlier this year, and nearly 50 years later, the Academy officially apologized to Little Feather for the abuse she subsequently endured because of her Oscars appearance. In a June letter from former Academy President David Rubin, the Academy acknowledged the unwarranted and unjustified abuse she experienced that night. Brando later acknowledged regret for the position he had put Little Feather in. According to the LA Times, Brando said, I was distressed that people should have booed and whistled and stomped, even though perhaps it was directed at myself, he told then talk show host Dick Cavett. They should have at least had the courtesy to listen to her. No, not people of that You expect people of that generation to listen to a woman, a brown woman? Are you kidding me? No way. John Wayne. Yeah, John Wayne's going to sit quietly and listen to the little Indian girl tell him about how the way he's made all his money is exploitive and terrible. Not going to happen. Anyway, good luck to you, Sasheen Little Feather, and whatever the next experience is, if there is one. All right, at this point, I'm going to have to... where is Jeff Glenn? Jeff, you're going to want to walk the dog, Jeff, because I'm going to talk about a story here that isn't necessarily about football, but it does concern someone who played football, so I know how. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Antonio Brown is trending. AB is trending. Did you guys see why Antonio Brown is trending? And this is months ago. I don't get this is months ago. Okay, so Antonio Brown, he goes to Dubai. He's at some like super fancy resort in Dubai. And he's there because Antonio Brown now fancies himself a hip hop artist, and he's trying to do hip hop. And his friend Floyd Mayweather Jr. Was having like an exhibition fight there in Dubai, probably in some like Sultan's living room, right? Probably not even a real fight. They probably just went, I'm having my 50th birthday party, and wouldn't it be great to have Floyd Mayweather fight in our living room? Wouldn't that be fun? How much would that take? $100 million. I'm sure he'll get on a plane and fight somebody in your living room. Let's make that happen. So it was something like that. It was like some weird Floyd Mayweather exhibition match. And Floyd had asked AB to do a number. Do one of your soon-to-be classic hip-hop tracks. So Antonio Brown is staying at this fancy 5-star resort there in Dubai. And, I don't know if you know this about Antonio Brown, but he has a tendency to get a little weird. He's kind of a weird guy. He starts like hitting on this woman in the pool. He's in the pool at this Dubai, and the pictures are out there. Just, if you listen to me, I don't want to put it up for you because it just takes too much time. You all theoretically are somewhere near a computer or a browsing device. Just Google search AB pictures Dubai, right? So he's in the pool, and at some point he's like, now he's naked in the pool, and he's like, he like gets next to this woman, this blonde lady, and he like puts his butt in her face, and there's a picture of that where he's just sticking his big old brown crack giant wide receiver butt in her face, and he's like, yeah, look at me putting it. And then he grabs her and like dunks her. There's pictures of that. At which point she is like, okay, I don't know what this is about. And she moves away. She was pissed. Apparently she didn't want to get her hair wet. He should know, if you're with a hot girl in the pool and she has not yet gone underwater, she doesn't want to get her hair wet, dude. So don't get her hair wet, because no, you can do anything to her in that moment. But if you get her hair wet, she's calling the police. Everything else that is what. So he does, and she swims away, and apparently she's like, that son of a bitch. She's screaming. And the way Antonio Brown reacts to that is he raises himself, he arches his back, he pops himself up on the edge of the pool, raises his pelvis area out of the pool, and starts massaging little AB. And let me tell you, from the pixelated pictures, holy cow, happy birthday, Tommy Lee. But Tommy Lee, you ain't no AB. I mean, AB was like a tree trunk. And he's just like, look at. So he gets kicked out of the hotel, and it becomes a whole big thing. And, and it's just coming out now. But the story apparently happened months ago, and it's just now being reported, and the pictures just came out. He's a crazy person. However, can we talk about this for a minute? RG3, RG3, Robert Griffin, Baylor great. Baylor or Auburn? Cam Newton was Auburn. Okay, yeah, Baylor. RG3, he tweeted yesterday during football. He said, AB showed more D than the Seahawks and Lions did today. Come on, that's a good joke. RG3, who knew he was good with a Twitter joke? Once again, Robert Griffin III tweeted yesterday that AB showed more D than the Seahawks and the Lions did. So I don't know what this means. AB also tweeted yesterday in the midst of this story breaking, which is very interesting and shows exactly how lucid and in the moment he is. AB tweeted, hey, I'm available if anybody wants a wide receiver. I mean, at the very moment that this picture of him, just whipping his log out, in Dubai too. Don't people get executed for that kind of stuff in Dubai? Actually, no. I had a conversation with somebody who spends a lot of time in Dubai, and I was like, aren't you worried about, violating? And he's like, no. He goes, not at all. Like, Dubai wants Western people coming here. Yes, if you're on one of the public beaches and you start making out or holding hands, yeah, you could get into trouble for that. But here's the thing: in Dubai, they just have these massive resorts. and you never leave the resort. And the resorts serve alcohol, and the resorts have everything that caters to what Western people want. It's just when you leave the resort. But they make these resorts so incredible that there's no reason to ever leave. It's like, Cancun or something. You don't have to leave the resort. You don't need to go into town. You don't need to take a tour in the jungle with some sketchy cab driver that you just hooked up with. Just stay at the resort. The resort has everything. Anyway, so I guess that's why, police weren't involved for sexual assault, because you would think that would be like a big problem over there. Nope, not if you're staying at one of the 5-star Western resorts. They don't care. All rules. JJ Watt, Jeff, still walking the dog? Still walking the dog. Jeff, get out there, walk your dog, because JJ Watt is also trending. This came to us yesterday. JJ Watt apparently had, I don't want to overstate it and say a heart attack, but he went into AFib on Wednesday. He had to be shocked. That means that your heart goes out of rhythm. It's not a heart attack. People are like, he had a heart attack and he's playing on Sunday. It's not a heart attack. It's actually kind of common. And it's serious. Anything having to do with your heart is serious. Anything. But this is not, anyway, here's the story. People are, especially after the Tua situation from last week, where Tua apparently sustained 2 fairly serious concussions within a 5-day period. So this story kind of shocked people. JJ Watt plans to play just days after having his heart shocked back into rhythm. Arizona Cardinals defensive end JJ Watt posted an alarming tweet Sunday morning, just hours before kickoff of the team's game on the East Coast against the Carolina Panthers. Watt stated that some news about him had been leaked and was going to be reported today. Immediately, most who caught this tweet were probably racking their brains and thinking, okay, what happened? From there, Watt went on to explain the following. He says, I went into AFib on Wednesday, had my heart shocked back into rhythm on Thursday, and I'm playing today. That's it. Okay. I don't know what to say. It doesn't sound good, right? I mean, dude, there are people on IR in the NFL because they twisted their ankle, because of turf toe. I can't play all season because of turf toe. JJ Watt had the clear done to him, and he's like, okay, can I play in 48 hours? And they're like, yeah, sure. You should be fine. Let's see here. If the Cardinals, what does this say? Wow, I don't think anyone expected to hear that about Watt. Everyone is relieved that Watt is out of the hospital and seemingly all right. But the fact that he plans to play in this game today, only 4 days after having his heart shocked back into rhythm, is scary. If the Cardinals won't do it, someone from the league's office or the NFL Players Association needs to step in and force him to sit this game out. After what we've seen in the past week with Tua Tagovailoa suffering 2 concussions in less than 5 days, Watt needs to be held out of Arizona's game today. That's what a bunch of people are saying. I don't know. What did they do? Did they win? I don't know. Did he play? Last week, during coverage of Tua's incidents, multiple former NFL players were asked about head injuries, along with others, and if they'd ever lied to get back into a game. The answer was a resounding yes. Former Patriots and Chargers All-Pro safety Rodney Harrison went on Dan Patrick's show and admitted to lying about head injuries and others. Harrison says he lied every time he had an injury in order to continue playing. Patrick also told a story about Steelers legends Hines Ward grabbing his ankle after getting his bell rung because he didn't want to come out of the game. It doesn't matter if it's the head or the heart. If it involves either, that player should be further evaluated and forced to sit out. We can't continue to gamble with these guys' lives. If Watt ends up playing at 4:05 p.m., it could be the biggest story of the day on the heels. I don't even know what happened. I don't know if he played. Did he drop dead? Apparently he didn't drop dead because that would be trending. That would probably be an update to this story that I'm reading you. Okay. Is Jeff back? Is anybody know? Is Jeff back? Is Jeff back from his dog walk? Because we're going to get back into like some other stuff. Sorry for that hardcore NFL football sport breakdown, Jeff. I'm never going to let you live that down. We started talking about something sportsy, about the head injury to Tua, and Jeff was like, I'm going to go walk the dog. All of a sudden, Jeff, who's like one of the closest, most integral people in this chat room, all of a sudden he just turns on me like he thinks I'm going to suddenly start breaking down passing schemes. Stop it. If I'm talking about sports, well, actually, that's not true, because I could do an hour on what happened to my White Sox. Would you guys enjoy that? Just a full hour of me ranting and raving about the 2022 Chicago White Sox, who the supercomputer said was going to win the World Series over the Milwaukee Brewers on opening day. The same supercomputer that predicted last year's Atlanta Braves win, when everybody was like, what? Yeah, that was my team this year. Didn't even make the playoffs. So here, there's a couple of things trending here. And they're related. Bros, B-R-O-S, Bros, and Billy Eichner. Billy Eichner, the comedian, man on the street, Billy Eichner, well, we'll get into that. Bros is a new movie that came out over the weekend. It debuted this week. Bros, B-R-O-S. It's a gay rom-com. I think Judd Apatow's involved. I don't know if he wrote it or directed it or whatever, but maybe he's the EP on it. I'm not sure. But this was wow. They're like, okay, so people are going back to movies. Let's give something that they might be interested in. Here is a rom-com, a traditional rom-com, except it's two dudes, and it's gay dudes. They fall in love too, and the story's great. So they did this gay rom-com starring Billy Eichner, who okay, there's a number of reasons why I will never see this movie. And chief among them is Billy Eichner. I can't take this guy. Billy Eichner is very, very, all the time. He's just Billy Eichner all the time. And it's too much. And I'm just like, I can't take that. In the beginning, it was funny. Like the first couple of minutes, the man on the street stuff that he did. I thought he was very good at that, and it was kind of funny. But man, it just goes on. He's way too over the top all the time about everything. So that's primary reason why I probably won't be seeing this movie. The second reason that I won't ever see the gay rom-com Bros is because it's a rom-com. Okay, I won't see a rom-com where it's, I couldn't even think of somebody. Who would do a rom-com? Ryan Reynolds and, give me somebody. Emma Stone. I won't go see that, right? I have no interest in the thing that I hate most in anything that I watch, be it a TV show or a movie or whatever, is the romantic subplot. I cannot stand the romantic subplot. It ruins everything that's great. And why is it there? It's shoehorned in so that the guys who the studios really want coming to movies can bring their girlfriends. A little something for them. And that's where we get the actress, the type of actress who always plays the girlfriend or the wife of the hero. And you know what I mean? She's like, you never see her again. It's like they do one movie and it's like, oh, look, his wife is pretty. I bet she's going to go on and have a career. No, she won't. If she played Bruce Willis's wife in one of the Die Hard movies, forget about it. You're never going to see her again. If she played, that's a whole thing. I hate the romantic subplot. I hate the, and I hate rom-coms. I'm a romantic guy. If I can be romantic. I can be charming, but I don't want to watch it depicted. I don't like them. You know what I like? I like When Harry Met Sally. That was it. I saw When Harry Met Sally. It's a good movie. It's a funny movie. Okay, I like the chemistry there. And then all of these other romantic comedies started popping up, like Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail, Must Love Dogs, whatever. This whole genre. I've never seen any of them. I've never seen Sleepless in Seattle. I have no interest. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to see that. So those are the two reasons that I will never see Bros. One, Billy Eichner is just way too Billy Eichner all the time. Two, I ain't going to see a romance. It's because you're a homophobe. No, that's not even really, that doesn't make my top two reasons. Oh, so you're saying you are a homophobe? Don't look, schizophrenic me. Don't back me into a corner. I think you know that I'm not a homophobe. I think you know how I really think. But Billy Eichner and the fact that it's a rom-com, never going to see it. Well, guess what? A lot of other people feel the exact same way as me because it is a massive bomb. It is. This was heavily promoted, far more than any other movie. They really pushed this. They really thought that people at some, Lincoln, Nebraska Cineplex on Saturday were going to be lining up, to see this rom-com, and they didn't. It's a massive bomb, and it's unfortunate because they probably aren't going to be making any more. This is Hollywood. Look, right now in the eyes of Hollywood, gay rom-coms with 2 male leads is a bomb. The movie cost $25 million to make. It made less than $5 million in its opening weekend. And that's where you always make the bulk of your money. And bad word of mouth, people not going to see it, the fact that everyone's talking about what a bomb it is. Actually, I don't even know what the reviews are. Maybe it's good. Maybe some people said it's a good movie and it's funny. I mean, it's Judd Apatow, right? He's got a pedigree. But people just didn't want to see it. And that's going to cause Hollywood to go, yeah, no, we're not going to do that again. We tried and we lost $15 million or $20 million or whatever we lost. Bros, billed as an all-gay comedy, is a box office disaster. And by the way, I ain't pulling this from like Breitbart. This is from Showbiz. Oh, no, it's Hollywood Reporter. Okay. Bros, billed as an all-gay comedy, is a box office disaster. Total receipts for Thursday and Friday came into just under $1.84 million, with another $2.5 million coming on Saturday and Sundays. Bros stands to make less than $5 million for its entire opening weekend. Bros doesn't have a huge budget, $25 million. But the movie has had a tremendous amount of publicity and marketing, a blanketing that most films would give their popcorn up for. This means that the public at large had no interest in seeing not only a gay rom-com, but one with graphic sex scenes. Bros comes from Universal, which will also release a second film in this genre through its Focus Features soon, called Spoiler Alert. Once that's over, this genre may be severely curtailed. What a disappointment for Billy Eichner, and Judd Apatow, but this is an example of Hollywood being insulated from reality, even when it has the best of intentions. I think that you can make these kinds of films, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think we ought to be like, don't make gay rom-com. That's stupid. You're an idiot if you've got a problem with it. But if you're trying to get people to go to movie theaters again, I don't know that that's how you put this on Netflix. This could become a major hit on Netflix. Put this on, one of the streaming services. Let people watch it in their own home. That's the other thing. I think when you go see that gay movie, there's still a lot of people who think like that, So it's like, can I get 2 tickets for Bros? What do you want? Two tickets to see Bros. People, I don't know that there's a lot of dudes, or is it women, or are there maybe just not that many gay people in North Dakota, right? Like, there's a large part of this country that I don't know is as forward as, the West Coast and the East Coast and Hollywood and, cities like Dallas or Atlanta or Miami, big cities, urban centers, where there probably is a community that could support this. But yeah, man, I don't know. You're in the middle of Wisconsin at some like Cineplex. I don't know that people are going to be going to see that. So that's unfortunate. But again, the reason that I have no interest in seeing this movie and will never see Bros is because, one, Billy Eichner is way too Billy Eichner all the time. Can't take it. The idea of having to put up with that personality, I can't do it. And 2, it's a rom-com. I'm not seeing any rom-coms. Oh, but what if it starred Ryan Gosling? And no, I ain't seeing that one either. Now tell everybody the truth. Don't make me do it. Do it. Okay. I lied when I said that I saw When Harry Met Sally, and then that was like it for rom-coms, and I didn't see any other rom-coms after that. The Notebook is one of my favorite movies. That's right, I don't care. I love The Notebook. I love The Notebook. That's a terrific movie. Now I watched The Notebook with a girl, and she forced me to watch it, and I was trying to be a good sport, and before I knew it, I'm like, I kind of like this story. So The Notebook's good. So here it is. Annie Hall, which I think is like the original rom-com, but it's so good. Annie Hall, When Harry Met Sally, The Notebook. That's it. I'm done. I'm full up. I don't ever need to see another rom-com. Not interested in that genre. No! Tell them. Full disclosure. All right, little amendment to what I just said there. Hold on. Let me make sure. Is it? Hold on. Make sure this is before. Just tell them you know it is. Well, is it though? Yeah, I guess it is. Love Actually is my favorite Christmas movie. I'll defend that. Love Actually. Okay, so we've got When Harry Met Sally. We've got The Notebook and Love Actually. There you go. That's it. We are closing the lid on rom-coms. Those are 3 movies that Annie Hall too. Those are 4 movies. Oh my God, the list is getting big. Just admit that you like rom-coms. I don't like rom-coms. I really don't. I fast forward through stuff that has romantic subplots because romantic subplots have nothing to do with the actual plot that I'm tuned in for. They're just a way to keep the girlfriends who you drag into the movies happy. That's a little something for them. And like they're just idiots who are just like, I just want to see people giving flowers and holding hands. Oh, stop it. That's not a thing. Okay. No woman is going to go and sit through Speed because they're hoping that, Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves hook up at the end. That's not a real thing. Women will do that. No, they won't. That's just how you see women through your patriarchal lens. Well, then maybe they are. I don't know. It's got to be for something. The Fast and the Furious movies are obviously for me in my kind. And then, so I guess the rom-coms have to be for women, maybe. Speaking of, you know what today is? Today is, I'm sorry. I got to move on from this. Billy Eichner. Billy Eichner is trending along with Bros because Billy Eichner is very upset. Very upset that people aren't going to see it, and he's blaming us. He's saying that we're not going to see it, not because he's obnoxious and over the top and we don't like him. We're not going to see it because we're all a bunch of homophobes who can't handle the idea that two guys... That very well may be the case for some people, but don't say that's all of us. That's not why I don't want to see the movie. Billy Eichner tweeted, everyone who isn't a homophobic weirdo should go see Bros tonight. You'll have a blast, and it's a special and uniquely powerful to see this particular story on the big screen, especially for queer folks who don't get the opportunity often. I love this movie so much. Go Bros. Well, it'll be, get it over on Netflix, get it over on demand, whatever. I just don't think Hollywood's going to be taking up real estate in their cineplexes with this genre of movie after the way it performed this weekend. So whatever, but yeah, everyone who isn't a homophobic weirdo. So I'm not, Billy Eichner is calling me a homophobic weirdo because I don't want to go and see this movie. It's Happy Boyfriend Day. It is Boyfriend Day. We don't do those anymore. We used to. Is this thing charging? Why isn't this damn thing charging? Why is it charging down? Oh. Power cords are the bane of my existence lately. I don't have one fully functioning power cord. I know I've said that before. And I'm looking at the computer here, and it's plugged in, and it says it's charging, but it's charging down. It is not. I don't get it. All right. It's Boyfriend's Day. Happy Boyfriend's Day. Today's the day. Are you a boyfriend? If you're a boyfriend, you should get a little something special. You should get I don't know, whatever it is. Well, I think we know what boyfriends want. So it's that day. So, ladies, get your knee pads because it's Boyfriend Day, and boys don't like flowers on Boyfriend Day. I'm just assuming. And also Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever is trending. Black Panther 2, the trailer for the follow-up to Black Panther is out. Oh, Black Panther's so good. I love Black Panther. T'Challa. I love T'Challa. I literally cried when Chadwick Boseman died. I mean, not upon hearing the news. It wasn't like, Chadwick Boseman has died. I didn't go, oh. No, but when they started showing, I saw like a montage of his stuff and this, and I was like, oh God, that's so sad because that dude was awesome. That dude, Chadwick freaking Boseman, man. That dude was on his way. It's another one of these deals. We say it all the time. These people who died, like, right. Have you ever seen his James Brown? In the James Brown movie? Oh my God, was he good? Did you ever seen him as Jackie Robinson in the Jackie? Oh my God, was he Thurgood Marshall? Oh my God, was he good? He just played all of these iconic real life characters and he slayed it in all of them to the point where you're like, this guy's going to have multiple Academy Awards. This guy is a great actor. And then of course, his big box office where his big star turn came when he was cast as T'Challa, the Black Panther. And what a great movie that was. Fucking cancer, man. I'm sorry, but Jesus. Chadwick Boseman. What a cool guy. What a career in front of him he had. He was as big and becoming as massive and then it all just ended. So that does cause a problem for the Black Panther franchise because T'Challa is dead. The lead character is gone. And the new trailer suggests, new trailer for Black Panther 2 was Wakanda Forever was released today, and it shows, although it doesn't say who the new Black Panther is, and apparently they don't. Apparently, the movie is like a nice, well done tribute to Chadwick Boseman. So they're not replacing him. Like it's not like, all right, so we need to recast T'Challa. So who's going to play T'Challa now? No, T'Challa is dead. T'Challa is dead with Chadwick Boseman, which is nice because you don't need. But there's a new Black Panther, and apparently it's a woman. And oh my God, are people angry? At the very end of this trailer, the new Black Panther descends from the ground, and then it pans up, and it's the Black Panther uniform, but there's boobs. And so it's like obviously it's a woman, so she's got boobs. So people are freaking out about that. Black Panther can't be, but you can't take a completely made up fictional character and then change their gender. Actually, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. A completely made up fictional character. You can do whatever you want with them. You can give them gills. You want to suddenly have them breathe underwater. That's fine. You can do whatever you want. So anyway, it looks great. It looks great. And I don't have a problem with a female Black Panther. I got no problem at all. Whatever. The Black Panther movie was so good. It was of all of those Marvel movies. Now, I liked Ragnarok a lot for a lot of the same reasons that I liked Black Panther. I liked the depictions of these mythical societies. These Wonder Woman from DC was also like that, where the island where the Amazonian women lived. Lesbos, as it turns out, it's true. I'm not kidding. Look it up. The island of Lesbos. It's a real place, and that is where we get a word from. I liked Wakanda. I liked the depiction of Wakanda as this hidden African nation with all of this, almost like Atlantis. It was like Atlantis. They had flying cars, and they were completely shrouded by the mountains, and that's where Black Panther was allowed to reign over his kingdom and was safe from the outside world because nobody had ever... Anyway, that was good. And I will definitely see Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever! Is that out? Yeah, I don't know. I like it. What else do we got? All right. That's it. That's all the stuff that I had prepared for you. It's 2:01 anyway. We are within 59 minutes before we all need to tune in to 97.1 The Eagle and see exactly what the heck they got. There's some big announcement going on there. Let me see. Anything else trending today? Anything new? It's Happy Boyfriend Day. Look at that first thing. Kanye is trending. Rapper Yee was pictured wearing a shirt with the words "White Lives Matter" on it at a Yeezy Season 9 presentation in Paris. He's such a troublemaker. All right. Okay, cool. We all know he's a crazy person, so. Elon is trending. Of course he is. He trends every day. People discuss Elon Musk's tweet on Monday about Crimea and the Ukraine-Russia conflict. What did he tweet? I don't know what he tweeted. Wakanda Forever is trending. Mean Girls Day. What day is it? It's October 3rd. Get in, loser. We're celebrating Mean Girls Day. What is that? What is it? Is this date, October 3rd, is that mentioned in the movie as being something? I don't know. I don't know why it would be. When's Lindsay Lohan coming back? She is coming back. She is coming back. Let me tell you something about Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, I don't know what she is now, but she was a dumpster fire of a human being. She was a wreck. Every bit addicted, but look at her parents. Her dad was a total douche. But here's been my thing about Lindsay Lohan the whole time. She's really talented. She is really talented. She is a really good actress. She is a good actress. She can have I believe that Lindsay Lohan is going to be like 50 years old and all of a sudden she's going to win an Oscar for something. Don't sleep on Lindsay Lohan. I know we love to do it. We love to make them famous when they're young and then tear them down. And we've done that. But then we also really love to reclaim them. We love the comeback. And I'm telling you, I think Lindsay Lohan, oh, really? Lindsay Lohan can't do it? How many of you remember 1997's version of Robert Downey Jr.? How many of you people remember when Robert Downey Jr. Was essentially way worse than anything? Lindsay Lohan never went to jail for like a year. Robert Downey Jr.'s career was over. But what happened? He had actual talent. So as soon as he got his shit together, people were like, okay, he's got his shit together, and not for nothing, but he's pretty good at this. So, and I think Lindsay Lohan is the same thing. I think Lindsay Lohan is going to be back. At some point, she'll be back. It won't be today. It's Mean Girls Day. But, there you go. That's my Lindsay Lohan rant. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is trending. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says Kyrie Irving has done something more destructive, insensitive, and just plain silly than his COVID-19 vax stance. What's that? God, this guy's Kyrie Irving is such an idiot. He doesn't think dinosaurs are real. He's a flat earther. He believes the earth is flat. He's a nut. All right, what is Kareem mad at Kyrie Irving now? So of course he didn't believe in the vaccine. He's crazy. What did he do? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar rips Kyrie over Alex Jones video. Sponsors should drop him, says Kareem. All right. What did he do? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says Kyrie Irving has done something more destructive, insensitive, and just plain silly than even his COVID-19 vax stance. Going off on the NBA superstar for sharing a controversial Alex Jones video on social media. The Brooklyn Nets guard came under fire last month after reposting he sent something. We knew that he was crazy. Of course, Kyrie Irving is down with Alex Jones. Kyrie Irving thinks dinosaurs never existed. He believes the world is flat and that this is all just some big conspiracy for big orb? What big orb is involved trying to make us all think that the world is round when in fact it's flat. I don't need to be upset over Kyrie Irving sharing an Alex Jones video. I would expect Kyrie Irving to share an Alex Jones video. Oh, let's see here. It is interesting how he never gets called out on this stuff, though. I mean, he's a public figure who influences, a bunch of dumb kids probably, but whatever. He's a public figure, and but he's good. He's good at putting the little orange ball in the hoop that's high up. He's good at that. He can put the ball in the hoop. So doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what he does. As long as he can, I'll tell you, as soon as he loses a step, though, blows out a knee, all of a sudden, he's going to have untenable political positions that no NBA team is going to want to be associated with. And it's going to be purely because of the crazy stuff he said. No, it's not. It's going to be because his knee is blown out. Stop it. As long as he can still play like Kyrie Irving, you people will put up with anything. Stop it. Kim Kardashian is still trending. Overwatch, Ponson, Oath Keepers. 5 alleged members of the far-right militia Oath Keepers, including its leader, Stuart Rhodes, are in D.C., are on trial in D.C.'s federal courthouse. They have pled not guilty to charges of seditious conspiracy and other charges. Everybody who's been charged with seditious conspiracy so far has been convicted. And, the funny thing is like, remember 6 months ago, that was like the crazy far-right? Obviously, it wasn't a real crime or an insurrection because they can't charge anybody with seditious conspiracy. Nobody's been charged with that. And then like a week later, like 100 people were charged with that. And now they're all getting convicted. Whatever. Won't turn on my country. Not perfect, but I will fight to defend it. Life Jennings. Who is Life Jennings? L-Y-F-E. Is he related to Waylon? Singer-songwriter Life Jennings claims to have met convicted serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer in prison. You guys know who Life Jennings is? That any relation to Waylon? I don't know. All right, that's it. We got nothing else. Yep. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Remember, folks, no pillow talk tonight. I'll tell you all about it. I'll report back tomorrow. Tell you all the interesting things that I see at this secret party that I'm invited to tonight. Again, see the mansplaining thing? Have a personal situation you need help with or want discussed? Tell me about it. mansplainingradio@gmail.com. Remember, like the old mansplaining, as I said before, it's a reinvention of Love Line. It's the exact same format. We want to talk to people. It's myself and Dr. Robert Schwartz. We're on Saturday and Sunday nights, 9 to 11 on 97.1. I don't know what it's called. Whatever they're going to. It's not the Eagle anymore. We know that. Oh, would you look at this? How cool is this? Look at my kid who went to his first concert last night. Smashing Pumpkins and Jane's Addiction. I just opened up our shared Spotify account to play my closing theme, which is John Hinckley. And this is what he's rocking out to. Oh, can I not play it? Because, he's got... Apparently Jane's Addiction has made quite the impression on my son. If you tuned in earlier, you know that I was hornswoggled into buying him a pornographic Jane's Addiction t-shirt that I didn't know was pornographic until we got back to our seats and I opened it up and I'm like, this is like boobs and muff. Why did I... Can I tell you something about Jane's Addiction last night, though? That was so incredible. We didn't have Dave Navarro. Dave Navarro has long-term, what do they call it, long-haul COVID. So Dave Navarro is not going to be participating in the Jane's Addiction tour. Last night was, by the way, the opening night of Jane's Addiction and Smashing Pumpkins. It was the first show of the tour. And man, they were great. They were great. So it's not like it's going to take a couple of shows to work the bugs out. They were incredible. Eric Avery, the bass player for Jane's Addiction. I mean, who they had to go out and get Flea to replace him. When Eric Avery walked out of the band, they went and got Flea. This dude, amazing. He's got to be in his like 60s, and he's still just this bass line alone. He was just slaying it. one of the great underrated bass players in rock history. Actually, he's probably not even all that underrated. He's fairly well rated. He's fairly highly regarded. Which all right. So what do I need here? I need my boom 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 boom. Oh my God! I can't find my. And the computer's about to die because it's not charging. And I don't know why that's not happening. I don't know why that's happening. We might just crash the show. The show might just go off the air. Might just end it because, again, I don't have a plug that works. It's plugged in. It's charging. It shows me that it's plugged in, but the battery is going down, 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 and it will not work on just power. It won't. It should, but it won't because, I don't know. My kid, it's taking forever. It's because my kid is using my Spotify. All right, kid, you're going to have to listen to John Hinckley for a couple of minutes.
I have got my poetry. I have got my songs. They see me through the lonely nights. Help me to be strong.
All right, guys. No pillow talk tonight, but we will be back tomorrow for high noon. I appreciate you. Have yourself a great day. And be tuned in at 97.1, the Eagle, the former Eagle, or whatever it is now, at 3 o'clock to see what all the buzz is about. All right, bye, folks. Love you. Be well.
I always had to be on guard. That is understood. It has been a journey, a multi-answer test. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day. The best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I have got an old guitar, that is all I need. I don't need no 401, I don't have the greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little now, things are going good. I always had to be on guard, that is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.